Well, good afternoon, traders. It's Mark here from the Day Trading Room. Time is quarter past 12 in the afternoon, London time on Monday. Just reviewing Friday's trades. Only two trades for me on Friday. I called it a day in terms of cash trades after these two, and then obviously just sat through noting down anything that's worth jotting down, perhaps getting some clues for Monday. But just the two trades for me. So let's discuss the premise behind them and what actually happened. Okay, so we had a firm open. Get the drawing tool out. We had a firm open that gapped up above yesterday's high, the Friday's high, should I say, and obviously the close. 3 minutes of nothing. 3 minutes of really they tried to poke above the high. You can imagine this on the dome. It's jostling backwards and forwards on the dome here. You can imagine that. In fact, the range was much lower than that, but you get the idea. With probe highs, probe lows, and it seems like it wants to break. Eventually, it just pokes up by a few ticks, which was this, and then starts to roll over. I'm not certain yet. I want to wait really because obviously I've got two premises for that situation. Either we're going to drive, pull back, and go, or we're going to fill that range and the gap. Obviously, the range wasn't massive, so that wasn't a trade in itself, for me anyway. But so what it did is once I saw this weakness, we started to pause here. Nice little flag pattern. Ticks are giving us an extra indication that this is not going to pop any higher. Tried a couple of times to pop higher there, and just on the second effort, just as we started to curl over, I just took a short. Really, this was a scalp. Really, should I say, scalp short, all out of the gap fill. That was the premise of the trade, and got it, and was done. No messing around trying to scale or anything like that. So, as I say, ticks gave a good indication there. Cash wise, we'd opened just above the 12,300 level and started to roll back under, and that little pause was at the 12,300. But really, because we had no indication from the ticks, we had no price action probing highs. Everything pointed to a lower push, and the risk was quantified just above that little spike high there, those two little spike highs there, if you can see those. By the way, best watching these videos in full screen if you're not already on high definition. I do record them in that so that you can get them over your full screen to get the full clarity you need. Okay, so yeah, that was that. Just waiting now to see what was going on. We did have some data at 523, and we got a little bit of a spike off it. It wasn't great, but we got a little bit of a spike. Now, this was an interesting situation because even though the price was weak, and when we got to here, I thought perhaps we'd bounce back up and test highs again and just sit in a bit of a range before this data came out. But we actually pushed lower. But really, if you look at the ticks, they weren't weak at all. Take my drawing pen off and let's see what the lowest tick reading was. A minus 400. Which is not consistent with market weakness. I thought perhaps there was maybe one heavy weight in the index driving it lower, but we had the same pattern pretty much on the S&P as well. So I'm not chasing shorts here. There's no way I'm chasing shorts unless after that consumer confidence at 5 to 3, which is 5 to 10 Eastern. Unless after that we got a drive lower with lots of good low tick readings, then I'd take the pullback. But otherwise, I'm sensing there's a little bit of pent up buying pressure here. I don't know if it's that much, but anyway, we'll see what happens when the data came out. Data came out, popped us up here. Now, this was where you really had to focus on the price action, see what was going on, really drill down into this candle. Nice high tick reading, not huge, but what did we get on that? 584. Okay, it's a start. Really, it's a start. This wasn't obviously massive reprice as such, but a price action just said to me there's a push higher here. Really, that's a nothing. That first little push down, even though it's not a bad little move in terms of price, but it's not confirmed with volume or tick. So, I expected the volume to pick up and to show us the way really. And I read that very nicely. Just got in as we pulled back on this candle. I wanted to get in. I actually wanted to get in on this candle as this candle was forming. I was ready for the buy. I saw the strength there, saw the volume, and thought, okay, well there are some good targets above us here that we can work with. Even if we're scalping off at 10, 15 ticks, there's some room to breathe there. And yeah, just waited and waited. Just got this little pullback, timed it beautifully. Just got in on this candle here. Popped up first scale as usual on the plus 10. That should be on that candle there on the plus 10. And then I scaled a little bit earlier than normal in the second batch, only because I just saw that 12,300 on the cash. Let me bring that chart in for you. Let's see the clarity there. You know, we just popped up towards that level, and I just perhaps I jumped the gun on that second exit a bit, but hey, I did. And out there, and then finally, as we approached this high, just as we popped through, we actually paused a little bit. It's not Didn't tell the full story, but it came all out there. So that was a trade, and I thought that was quite a nice trade. It was a nice read. Okay, didn't get any big, huge runner on it, but you know that's not the sort of thing we expect from the Dow. And actually, you know, at this point here, I did expect it. I thought I'd come out early. I was all out, didn't have any more left. I thought that maybe we'd then drive on. It was going to be a big, strong day. It had that sort of feel about it, but we just started to drift down. And I'm glad I stayed out of it because I would have had a go at this level here. The 50% pullback, perhaps I would have had a go here, and it looks like that would have been taking one scale and maybe a scratch or maybe a loss on the second. I don't know, but it wouldn't have been what I expected. I would have thought perhaps we'd drive back up here, but again, something to note. Ticks are showing us what's going on. You know they're okay here. You got to pull back to the sort of 0 point here. Had another little push, didn't go to highs, started to roll over. Then we started getting low ticks where people started to bail out, pushed us lower, and there really wasn't any weakness either after that. Consolidated, and then the rest of the day, you know, we ground higher. Uh, just this little spike here in volume just pushed us up, pulled back again. We're getting this quite a lot at the moment. Got to watch out for this. I've got a little bit of a note here to say just be careful of these. Good volume here, and ticks aren't complying. The drive up, but then we just get consolidation. So if you're taking that pull back to this sort of level, you've got to be prepared to either sit with it or just come out if it's not working. Okay, you were rewarded with a little pop later on in the day, a little high, but you know, considering the amount of time you're in the trade, the risk you've got on the table, just being a bit cautious with those. So let's see what happens this week. Got some good levels to work off. We're down 66 at the moment pre-market. So yeah, we'll see what's going on. Oil down a touch. Nothing for me on oil on Friday. I'd said actually before the open I'm not really going to touch this unless this starts exploding, and we can jump on some momentum plays. I was just going to concentrate on the Dow, get a couple of good trades under the belt, and decided to call it a day. So yeah, good week. Let's hope for some more action this week. I hope we get some good pushes on the market. And as always, manage your risk, guys. Welcome your emails. Get round to replying to a couple of you who've emailed me. Thank you very much. As always, good trading. Manage your risk, and back with another video later in the week.